Hello, Peoria. I'm Renee Haraney. This is a Peoria Professional Show, and each week I bring you a guest locally that you need to know about. And I am so excited to introduce you today to Sarah Hardgrove-Koleno. Did I get that right?
Yes, you got it. Thanks.
Sarah has invented a beverage, and it's organic sports drink. It's called Cray, and this is it. And she's going to tell us her story about how it is that this busy mom, who at the time was an attorney, I don't know if you're still practicing.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
But she was an attorney, and she grew up here. So that's why she's our guest today. But she wanted a better, healthier alternative to the sports drinks. And so she has invented Cray, and she's going to tell us all about how that came about and how she's helping the community, or how the company is helping the community, the communities in which they do business. So Sarah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You have the best story. You know,
thank you.
It's so fun to hear it. And I love to see that someone has taken an idea and a passion and just run with it. And then here we are holding it and drinking it.
Yes, yes.
So great. So let's talk about, first of all, you grew up here, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about your childhood and how you got to where you're at.
So I was born in Peoria. We actually I went to Walter Grade School, so we lived kind of in North Peoria. I was the youngest of 5 kids, played sports, played every sport there was every day. Went to Bergen High School that became Peoria Notre Dame High School. So in fact, I was the first graduating class of Peoria Notre Dame High School. It was like 1989. And so just absolutely have loved the city. My parents are still here. One of my sisters is here, so we're back here all the time. And then I went to the University of Illinois for undergrad and studied finance, and so went to the business school there, and then I stayed for law school. So I stayed 3 more years, and then took a job in Chicago at Jenner & Block, which is a big litigation firm, and practiced law for the next 18 years. So 18 years in Peoria, and then about 18 years in Chicago as an attorney. And the way Cray came about, so, as a lawyer, you're working tons of hours. I got married. I had 4 kids. And, they're all playing sports, and my husband and I are still playing sports, and we were just seeing like Gatorade on every sideline and in every kid's hand, whether it's basketball or softball or soccer or, you name it, everyone was drinking Gatorade. And so, I was thinking, you look at the label of that and you see, artificial dyes and all these things that you shouldn't be putting in your body. And so I did a bunch of research. I tried everything on the market, and our kids were not big fans of the coconut water-based things. They didn't like the taste of the, and there just weren't that many options. So a friend of mine from law school, his name's Dan Trainer, he and I just did a ton of research. So we looked at everything. We looked at the size of the market and who are the players and what's our competitive advantage and all those things before we made the move to actually start the company. And we realized there's nothing else out there. It's an $8 billion sports drink market. There's got to be room for a new product, and so we went for it.
Wow, that's amazing. So, but you went for it, but how do you actually get your idea into a bottle and then into stores? How does that happen?
Yes, that is a process. It's kind of funny. They say, if you grew up and you were doing beverages or distribution, then they say maybe you wouldn't start this company because you know how hard it is, because you know all the obstacles and all this. It was kind of interesting to come from you. I was a lawyer. I was very optimistic about this idea. I think it's a great idea. And you don't see all the obstacles because you see this great idea, you see the market that needs it, and you don't know,
Right.
all the things that would prevent you from doing it. And that has been, it's been so helpful. It's been refreshing. And just kind of being able to see things from a different perspective. And when they say oh no, you can't do that because this, it's like, well, why not? This actually would be a really smart way to do this. So we've been, even though we're coming from outside of the beverage market, as we launched this company, it was really helpful in just having the perseverance and thinking, not recognizing what the difficulties were. So here's what we did. We had this idea. We did the research. We believe that this is a product that's going to succeed. And Dan and I, we weren't thinking like, let's start this little drink company and let's just do something small like a mom and pop thing. We're only going to do this. I'm going to leave my job at Jenner and Block and really dive in with head first and do whatever it takes. If we think that we can just get on a rocket ship and go, like become a national brand and really, really build something here. And so, at the same time as we were defining the brand, and we could talk more about like how you do that, but making sure you're putting a healthier product out there, we set up our give back, which is Crave for Play. And so this was like day one. There's Crave the drink, and there's Crave for Play, which is our just our give back. And so helping the community in whatever ways we can by giving either sports equipment or drinks, or once we have profits to give money. But at this point, it's just like however we can help the communities where we're selling our product, we're going to do that.
Right. So you had told me a story which I thought was so great. You need to share it with our viewers. But, how are you specifically helping these communities with, you called it Crave for Play?
Yeah, Crave for Play.
Okay. So what are you doing? And tell me a story about that, and let's talk about what you're doing tonight.
Okay, sure. So Crave for Play. So we've done a bunch of different things in a bunch of different ways, but an example would be up in Chicago. So there's AYSO Soccer, which is the youth soccer organization. I think there's 2,000 players. So it's a huge soccer event. It's every weekend. It's on the lakefront. And so we sponsored it was called Soccer Fest. So it's the last 2 days of soccer, and it's a blast. It's just a big tournament. But Cray sponsored it, so we were collecting cleats. So we said for every kid who brings in a pair of cleats, we'll give you a free bottle of Cray. And so we ended up collecting about 400 pairs of cleats, which was fantastic. So we donated them all to Chicago Scores, which is a charity in Chicago. And actually, we just got the nicest email back from them the other day saying, this was phenomenal. Like do you realize that you just put cleats on the feet of 400 kids playing different sports? So it's that part of our company. Like that's the true, I love that we have a healthier product out there that's got less sugar and fewer calories and all that. But the community give back part of it has been dynamite. The another big one that I was telling you about earlier that was great is, so Glenn Robinson III, he won the slam dunk contest and he plays for the Pacers. And he went to Big Ten schools and grew up in Chicago and northern Indiana. But he's just a fantastic guy. Well, he came across Cray at actually a charity event we were doing. We were donating product to this basketball tournament in Chicago. And his business manager was there and said, hey, Glenn, you got to try Cray. This is, it's a sports drink, but it's got less sugar, fewer calories, doesn't have any of the dyes or any of the junk. So Glenn tried it. He's like, man, I love the fruit punch. I want to meet the people who started this company. Like, let's, I'd love to kind of partner and see what they're doing. So we went down to Indianapolis, and it was the week of the slam dunk contest. So, and there were 4 people, competing, and he was supposed to be third. And he was like, I had some tricks up my sleeve, don't count me out. And we said, listen, if you win the contest, we will donate sports equipment and Cray, 100 cases of Cray, to any charity of your choice. Mm-hmm. And so he ended up winning. He did like some crazy dunk over, leaping over some guy's head, this amazing dunk. And so anyway, he won. So we went back to Indianapolis. He chose Shepherd Community Center, which is this wonderful school in the middle of Indianapolis. And they had like hardly any sports equipment. They definitely didn't have a basketball hoop. I don't know, they must have had jump ropes, but it was so limited. And their director said, we'd love whatever sports equipment you can provide. So we got tons of basketballs and jump ropes and soccer balls and, tennis rackets and, you name it. And then donated a bunch of product. And Glenn Robinson actually came and spoke, gave this wonderfully inspiring speech to these young kids and just had such a positive impact on this whole community. And I was thinking it was just a nice give back, but it had such, and even Glenn, he's 23 years old, he's so young, but he was like, wow, it feels so good. Like, it doesn't take that much effort to makes so many people feel so good, and it makes you feel so good. I mean, but he like even recognize like having him see that impact was interesting, and it just it just goes to show you like the the little things we can do for the community have such a broad impact, and and that's what we're hoping to do with Cray for Play.
Yeah, that is amazing. Keep it up, because that's at the end of your life. That's what you're going to be the most proud of. Right.
That's exactly right. It's kind of who you feel.
Difference.
So we're in Peoria tonight. So Detweiler at Dark is tonight, which Adam White from Running Central has this phenomenal race. I mean, he's like, it's going to blow your mind. It is a great race. My 4 kids they came with me, and a couple nieces because they're going to participate. And so Cray is sponsoring it. So we're giving out drinks, but we're doing something similar. Like anyone who is anyone who's around, come to Detweiler Park, donate your running shoes, and for every pair of running shoes you donate, we'll give you a free bottle of Cray, and then we'll give them back to an organization in the community that can benefit from it. Yeah. So doing things like that, that's an easy step, and it's an easy way for people in the community, too, to go, oh, wait, I've got 3 pairs of shoes here, hold on. Right. And go find the Cray tent and donate those shoes, and hopefully we can have a nice impact here in Peoria as well doing that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I raised 2 sons, they're almost 20 and 23 now, and I was a single mom for most of that time. And, I can tell you there are a lot of people that it would tremendously help to get a nice, gently used pair of running shoes or cleats or whatever the case may be, because every new season brings a new sport. Oh, great. Now and you're playing soccer, but your feet are bigger than they were last time you played soccer. So let's go spend $100 and get you, it's like, so that is really amazingly helpful to so many people. And there's just so many people that need help,
Yeah, I think so, too.
It's a great reason to clean out closets.
I know, but like you said, I mean, I've got with my 4 young kids, too, they'll wear the shoes like one season might be 10 games and 10 practices, and that's it. So they look like brand new shoes, but they don't fit because, these kids.
Because they grow so
they're
fast.
Growing so fast. So anyway, hopefully we'll be able to collect a bunch of shoes today and just continue to do that.
Definitely.
But you're right. There are many, many people that are benefiting from that.
Yeah, there really are. And I don't know. I just think that that's where, a huge opportunity lies for the business as well, too. When you can take what you're passionate about and helping others and find a way for those 2 things to work together, where you're providing a product that is of value that people need. I mean, it's a win-win-win, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that is exactly what we're hoping. I mean, it's interesting because, of course, you start with the product, but the give back and that part of the business, I mean, it actually, I wasn't thinking of it this way, but that definitely increases sales because, and I think of myself, like I'm wearing a pair of Tom's shoes. Why am I wearing Tom's?
They're very cute, by the way.
Thank you.
You can't see them, but they're really cute.
but buy a pair, give a pair. But it's that kind of concept, like the companies that are socially conscious that for every pair of shoes I'm buying, you're shipping a pair to someone who needs them in Africa. Okay, I'll buy your shoes, because people want to contribute to organizations that are doing good. So we were doing good because we think it's the right thing to do, but it actually helps us because other people now are buying Cray because they know we're doing good things. So I think all that definitely helps.
It does. And sometimes we just need that little reason to do something. You know what I mean? We get so busy in our lives, but you create an opportunity, through this event, right? Yeah. Okay, so people are going to be going. This is a one-day event. Okay, this is a great time to just, even if you're not running tonight, to just stop on by, take those, 2 or 4 or whatever pairs of running shoes that, your kids aren't going to use anymore because they have to have the latest or their feet are too big or whatever it may be.
Yeah, whatever it is.
And instead of just, dropping them off somewhere else down the road, come down, see other people, check
out Detweiler at Dark. This should be. I guess they do. They do this race. It starts at night. I think the last group to go off is the high school boys. It's tons of high schoolers and middle schoolers, but there's also an open race. But the last race starts at 9:45, so it's dark, and they do laser lights, and we've got like
usually in bed by then.
Yeah. Well, tonight, try it.
This is really good, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're actually drinking Cray in our in our coffee mugs.
Yeah.
But we've got Cray like glow in the dark tattoos, and Theo. They were just doing fun stuff down there tonight to kind of build some excitement.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the kids, they are really the ones that need for this to like grow into what you're hoping it will. It's those kids that are really going to make that happen for you, right?
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier, when you have an idea, I mean, it was kind of interesting. Like we had this idea, we're going to do an organic sports drink. So and what that means is it has to be a USDA certified organic. And as we were developing it, when we talked, so it's called our beverage architects. The beverage architects, you hire a company, and ours is in Kentucky. And we told them we want, it's got to be clean, it's got to be real ingredients, it's got to be simple, and it's got to have 6 or 7 ingredients. It's a sports drink, so it needs a little bit of sugar, some potassium, the electrolytes, some sea salt, whatever you need to replace when you're sweating. That's what we're looking for in our drink. So we told the beverage architects, 6 or 7 things. And so when we look at the label, if you look at, any drink you have, even like vitamin water, you look at it and there's about 35 ingredients or something. You go, what in the world, is going on here? So ours, 6 or 7 is organic sugar, organic juice, some sea salt, and that's about it. So, we had the idea, we did all the certifications, and really when it says USDA certified organic, it was refreshing to me. Like, that means something. That means that the government, in this instance, has gone, you've jumped through every hoop. You've shown where every single ingredient is sourced, and there's no GMOs, there's nothing else, but it's a pure organic ingredient. So that, that was really important to me. And I think it is to tons of parents. And even kids are paying attention. Like, they don't want to put junk in their body. Right. It's like, you're out there, you're sweating, you're doing what you can to compete the best on the field, and then you're chugging junk, tons of sugar, water, and dyes. Like, that doesn't make sense. So anyway, but having the idea, having the beverage architects come up with the drinks, and they were sending us, it would be like a panel of, we could have done like blueberry acai and like these fancy, we're like, no, simple, clean, like lemon, fruit punch, berry, orange, like just keep it
easy to remember.
Yeah, and keep it basic, keep the ingredients simple. But you're right, when you have an idea, and then it took about a year to develop, though, to all the research. So it was like Dan and myself, and our third co-founder is Annie Hesser, who's in Chicago. She's the marketing side. You would love her. She is brilliant. But it's the three of us, have the idea, and then it takes almost a whole year. And when we finally had, we got the product in our hand, and you're worried about, you're making the label, and we could have put a big plant on it, but we didn't. We're like, it's got to look cool, because we, kids want to.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. It kind of is.
Love the packaging.
It's exciting. The name, we wanted the name to be kind of interesting, and it's called Cray. K-R-A, like, how do you pronounce it, and what does it mean? And
what does it mean?
So it means keep rising above.
Oh, wow.
So so surprise.
Love that.
So it means something, but it just invites. We thought it's interesting from a marketing perspective to invite the question. What is it? What does it mean? Yeah. But so you put all this time and energy into the product, and then really when we got it, those first cases, like, we did it. We've got our product. Like, oh my God, we have to sell this. We literally were still lacing up our shoes. We just tied them, and now we're at the starting line.
Yes.
So it was 1 year of product development. I think with the flavors, everyone tastes fantastic. Like, I think we really did, exactly what we wanted to do. Love the branding, but selling it like that now, that and that's
another skill set.
It's another skill set, yes. And so we actually have just recently brought on Melissa Burgetts is our senior vice president of sales. She'll be fantastic. We've hired a couple other people in DC and Philadelphia who have beverage experience, and so now because for me, who's been a lawyer for 20 years. To do sales, it's like, I'm passionate about this. I believe in it. I can sell it. I can go into a store and say, hey, this is a great product, and think they'll buy it. But when you bring on people now that have the skills that you don't have, like to understand the sales cycle and managing sales teams and that kind of thing, that becomes important.
Right.
But to your point about, it's the kids that are, we wanted to make the drink taste fantastic, so kids will drink it and love it. And it's organic. The parents are gonna, they're gonna appreciate that, and they're gonna give it a shot. It looks cool, so it's got all the makings, but now you just need the kids to buy it and then say, hey, Mom, Dad, bring it home from camp or wherever they are, and you can, now you can buy it on Amazon. So really anyone can go and get online and buy some Cray. In fact, we've got buy one, get one free on Amazon for like the next 3 days till the end of the month. So as long as supplies last, but just getting people to try it. Once they try it, they like it, they tell their friends. And, we were talking earlier, how, young kids are. It's like, I want this. Can I have it? Please give it to me. And they don't stop until they get it. So we're hoping with social media and with just the word of mouth and the kind of the energy of these kids that they'll drink our product, they'll love it, and then they'll buy it. Yeah, they'll beg. And then
that's how it works.
Yeah, that is how it works.
If you're not a parent.
But I think that's the only way you can compete with like Gatorade and Powerade, because they're just, they have the marketing muscle. They've got, hundreds of thousands of marketing dollars, and we're a startup company. We're this tiny company that's kind of just getting rolling. So we launched in DC, which is where my business partner is. And then, so we're there about a month, just making sure that the bottle doesn't explode. And, you have to make sure, like, kind of proof of concept, but also, that the invoicing system works, that everything's aligned. So we're in a bunch of Whole Foods in the DC area. And then, like, the up and down the streets, like little cafes and restaurants and 7-Elevens and hockey rinks. And, you're just trying to get wherever people are sweating or wherever they'll run in quickly and grab a drink.
Sure.
And then in Chicago, we're in, again, like Whole Foods and Mariano's, and there's like Goddess and Grocer and Olivia's Market, these kind of smaller markets, Potash and Sunset Foods. So we're getting in a lot of places, and then we're doing a bunch of the community outreach, so a bunch of events in the community that hopefully, will drive those sales. And so far it's been great. And then we had the opportunity to come to Peoria about 6 months ago, and which in my mind, because I grew up, if it plays in Peoria,
it's still true.
So I'm like, we have to. I was telling my co-founders, we've got to get to Peoria, because that's where it happens. If it succeeds in Peoria, it's going to succeed anywhere. And so brewers. So Paul Jacob, he runs Brewers Distributors. They took us on, and Les Vickery is in charge of the non-alcoholic products. They've been wonderful. So they brought us in. So they distribute us to like Hy-Vee and Schnucks. We're in Allwyn's and Lindy's Market in Washington, some other smaller places and gas stations, and like 5 Points Gym in Washington.
Awesome.
So we're trying to do like other things in the community, like we're sponsoring JFL and some baseball teams, and just whatever we can do to get out there. We're in some country clubs and things like that. So anyway, hopefully, I do think if it plays in Peoria, so I really would love to see us succeed here, and I think we've got a really good start.
Yeah,
so
that's great. So, and I'll mention that in the description of the video too, so people can easily
good, like where to find it,
where to get that and everything. But I love your story. I think you're checking all the boxes. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have so much passion, and Jenny, your salesperson that I spoke with a couple weeks ago, she has so much passion for it, and you can just see, like, I've watched videos on your Facebook page, which, by the way, the name escapes me, but it's Cray for Play. No, the Facebook page that I saw.
Oh, I wonder.
Was
it's
Cray,
usually just drinkcray.com or
Cray for Cray Drink for Athletes or something like
Cray
that.
Drinks. Yeah, that's our corporate name is Cray Drinks for Athletes.
Okay, I think that's the name of your Facebook page.
Oh, okay. So I think you're right.
Yeah. So I'll put a link to that in
Perfect.
there too, so people can follow. But you're doing a lot of really fun things, and that's, I think, what's really going to help people learn about you, and when they taste it, then they want it, and they just need to know where to get it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. So we've had the fortune of meeting some different people who are interested in our product and who have been involved in bigger beverage companies. And the one thing they say, and like Jenny is a perfect example of it. You can't be out there every single place selling your product in the stores. So you need to build your sales team and your marketing team. So everyone's got to have the same passion you have. And so they've got to believe in this product. They've got to believe they're doing good in the community, that they're putting a better product in people's hands. And and Jenny Kunzman is the perfect example of that. Like, she loves the product. She loves working for the company. And there's something about working for a startup, and it's like, because you get, ideally, everyone will get a little equity, and if things go great, then everyone, then
Everyone wins.
Yeah, everybody wins. And so you kind of believe that there's a piece in here, like if I really am out there and I'm passionate, I'm doing everything I can, great things are going to happen. But this one gentleman who we've worked with, and he's phenomenal, and I hope he's comes on in a more formal role with us. But he said, even like in a demo, you can walk by in the grocery store and there's people doing demos, and sometimes there's, like the person's on their phone or they're bored or but you need someone who's standing there and there's a group of people around them and they're trying it and smiling. And so really finding those people, to me, it's kind of a luxury we have because we're so small. We can handpick like every single person who joins our team. We can make sure that they're dynamite. It's not like we just entered an organization of 1,000 people and, well,
you get what you get.
Yeah, here's your boss and here's your coworker. It's like we
Sure.
can build this company with really amazing people, and so that's what we're trying to do. I mean, we've got just a phenomenal team, and we're being very careful and selective as far as who joins it.
Right.
And we're also doing so we've like as we're starting out, we have this idea. You need to raise money, so we're a C corporation, but we're doing like a friends and family round. So we're trying to raise a certain amount of money just to get going, because it's a really it's a cash intensive business. But again, when the people who are coming in now in the seed round that are seeing the future and seeing what we expect the sales to be and how we're going to get there, hopefully at the end of the day, which is usually 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, as you kind of figure out what your next step is, we'll all be doing well. But it's there's a lot of hard work, and really it takes a ton of energy between now and then to get to build a successful beverage company. But so far we've had like some professional athletes who have reached out to us and said, "Hey, I love your product." There's some Bears players that are interested in it. We brought on Roy Hibbert, who's played basketball he's played in the pros for many years. Annie and I met him. He's what is he, 7'3" or 7'4"? But yeah, he's just this gigantic, really, really smart, very like unbelievable business mind. But he's getting involved with us. So I think we're getting some really lucky connections. And I think people like the product, and they want to meet the people who are behind it. And if they like the people who are behind it, and they really see the same vision you see, they'll want to get involved. And so. That's kind of what we're doing now, is building a little bit, like still raising money and bringing on people that have, different connections that are gonna, I think, help us get to the next step faster than maybe otherwise.
Well, you mentioned Bears players, and I just have to tell you this real quick story. But when my 23-year-old was 5, at that time, he and his dad used to go watch the Bears at training camp up in Wisconsin, like every year. And one year there was a Bears player, like a lot of them really, at that time, I don't know how it is now, but years ago, they weren't very social with the fans.
Yeah.
And there's only like 50 fans. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Hard to be. Yeah.
But this one particular Bears player was really nice to my son. And he had a picture of him where he's sitting up on his shoulders, and he gave him this, they tear up these towels and use them as sweatbands. Really gross.
He got to take that home.
And he got to take it home, and it just always meant something. And even he's 23 years now, and he still has such fond memories from those times, and that's what I love about what you're doing, with partnering with some of these athletes and everything, and then helping the kids, because, it's one thing to have a sports drink, but to have to get to meet these people, that is so special to them. I kind of have chills right now thinking about it.
Oh, it's
so neat. Like the memories that you're helping them create, and the hope that you are giving these kids, and the practicality, of these resources in the shoes and cleats and everything, for the families. I mean, it really is making such a difference, and I just love where your heart is coming from. And
thanks.
I just wish you all the best. I think it's fantastic what you're doing.
Thank you.
A girl from Peoria.
I know, and I'm
making having the American dream come true, right?
I will tell you, and a girl from Peoria. It's funny because anyone from Peoria, Yeah, they say, where are you from? I'm from Peoria. It's awesome. I mean, anyone who's from Peoria, who's now in Chicago, wherever, everyone who's from Peoria loves Peoria because it is the perfect city to grow up in. It's the perfect city. Like I said, my parents and sister are still here, but there's nothing I like more than coming back and going to Agatushi's and Avanti's and Donnelly's and like the same places we've gone for years, but it's just a wonderful city. So I'm so glad that we're selling Cray here.
Yes, me too. Really, really happy for you and so happy to meet you too.
Yeah, you also.
As well. But anyway, I just want to say thank you all for watching. And the next time you are in a grocery store and you see Cray, give it a shot. Get a few bottles. Have your kids test it out, and you know, share it with other people because they're doing amazing things, and I think everybody needs to know about it. But thank you again, Sarah.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
PeoriaLife.com